What up, YouTube? Sold on RV Life crew. Got a different one for you. Right now, Laura is up in Washington taking care of her mom, visiting family, things like that, right? So I'm left here in the cold of Nebraska, and it's cold. It's very cold. I think it was like negative 23 with the wind chill last night, so we had a cold morning. Anyway, somewhere in here, Laura has put in our original videotape of our fireplace. Yeah. Now, you remember, I'm doing this on the phone. Let's back up. Laura's up in Washington. She took all the camera crew, or camera stuff with her. So she's got all the good camera stuff up there in Washington. I have a phone. So I talked to my daughter, Colette. I asked her, hey, do you have a tripod that maybe has a phone clamp on it? She's like, oh, yeah, check this out. Brand new. She just got it. I think her husband got it for her. Christmas, birthday, something like that. But she's letting me use it. Really kind of cool. So that's how we're coming to you. This is on a camera recording, not the GoPro like maybe you're used to. Anyway, with that being said, right before Laura left, day or two before, our fireplace went out. And I think we'll insert in here a little clip of the video of us looking at that one pieced out. So then I started doing research on it, and they're talking, well, here's the grab on for this one. Hold on. I get a hold of Grand Design, and I said, hey, look, this is what I have. And can I get a motor or squirrel cage combination replacement piece? And so the customer service rep says, oh, let me reach out to the vendor, and we'll see. So then she comes back and lets me know that they don't do parts, but they'll do a replacement, and it was like $800. Huh? So I went on to Facebook. There's a couple Grand Design groups on there, and I just threw it out there, and I said, hey, can I get some help finding this motor, finding the squirrel cage? Well, one of the members of the group got on there and said, I just took the dimensions, went on Amazon, bought one off of Amazon for, I don't know, $150, $175, something like that. So that's what I did. Took the dimensions, got on Amazon, and picked up that bad boy. So, with that being said, we're going to make sure that you guys can see all of this. We're going to unbox it, take a look at it, and see if she'll fit. Keep your fingers crossed. What up, YouTube? Hey, so the professional YouTubers that we are, we like to video and document and share with you all of the wonderful things that we do in the RV life, right? So in that spirit, keep that in mind when we look at this. So, backstory, we got a fireplace that has been throwing the E-3 code, which comes from this sensor. Which sits, yep, that sensor's right there. So that sensor, it sits on there, which sits, it's kind of hard to explain. This is the blower motor and everything, and the fan and the heater are all right here, and they sit right here, and then the cap gets put on. This goes over this way. No, the other way. Sorry.
And the sensor
like
in
that,
the back,
and the sensor sits right above. Sits right above the heater and the blower, and what it does is it senses if this is getting too hot, and then it shuts off. And that's the E3 code, which is a common code. If you look it up, it'll tell you that, sensor malfunction, overheating, whatever. So what I've discovered is the fan motor started making noise, and that's this motor right here that goes to this fan. Here's the heating element, and this is a fan. So it's really a simple system. You turn it on, and it sends power to the heating space right here, and then it starts to turn this fan, which in turn blows through the hot air coils here and blows it out the front. What's happening is that this motor has started making noises and squeaking, and it does, even though I have the electrical part of the motor off, this is still moving very stiff. So my guess is this end is gummed up and it just needs to be cleaned and lubricated, or this motor is finally said it's on its last leg and we got to replace it. So I'm gonna try and take stuff apart, clean things up. This is the cap that goes over the end of the of this motor system, and it's got oil in there. So we'll make sure that that's all clean. Clean this off to see if we can get the fan to one, not make noise, and two, not be hesitant when you turn it on. Because like last night we were running it, but it was a little noisy. Get up this morning, go to turn it on. I can hear the system start up. I can smell it going through the heat, and then it shuts right into the E3 because the fan didn't start spinning.
But can we just address the fact that there's all that space being wasted?
All this room for activities.
I mean, the whole thing.
You could hide a small child in there.
You could hold probably several.
I probably shouldn't say that because I don't think we're traffickers.
Yeah, no. But, you know, I've seen people put their batteries back there when they do solar, other things. It's like, come on. Why could we not have made this so simple to open and use for storage? Of course.
That's a different model.
You have a, what?
That's the 367 BHS Plus.
I guess.
You get storage down
because this whole section, I mean, because if you think about it, yes, this drawer goes to the back, but behind here, there's nothing up here. We could have a whole new entertainment system.
I know what it's for. Nope, I know what it's for. Why that space is probably empty back. Total guess, right? Televators.
I guess if you did
so if you have the same, you have the same basic structure.
True,
you can put the televator in the back, and it would have room back there. That's my guess. I'm guessing. All right, hope I got the camera set up right. I had to origami stuff. Anyway, let's get this puppy out and see what we got. Interesting. A box inside a box. But you know, there's glass in this, you know. All right. One box down. I'm assuming, flip back over, this is the top. Here, I'll turn it so we're all facing you. Okay. Let's get through this box. Now, what was weird is the main outer box said it was box 2 of 2, but there's 2 boxes for this. I don't know what they would be putting in it, because it's supposed to be just a 40-inch fireplace. But man, oh man, this thing is packaged. I see a fireplace coming out. As of right now, that's great boxing. It's well protected, very solid in there. And so now I can see parts and pieces. Alright, see if we can get this puppy out. Come on, let go. Okay, spin this puppy around. There she is. Alright. Do a little cleanup. Be right back. Alright. Well, I'm hoping you guys can see all this. Because if not, ooh, we're going to have a terrible video. We'll put a link out there so you can go take a look at it. So kudos to them. Very well boxed. The thing was definitely packaged up. Even this glass now I'm seeing has a little... So anyway, good on that. And then they got a parts bag, which probably has the instructions. Remote control with batteries. Some mounting screws and hardware. So that's the deal on the instructions. Alright, we got those 4 screws out. Now the glass should come off. There we go. So it does have hooks in the back. So the mounts have hooks in the back, so once you get those screws out, pick it up, take it out. So now the glass is out. Let's put it someplace where I will drop something on it. Probably not the best idea, but... Bones, you're not helping. Alright, glass is off. I'm assuming we can take these out. Get them out the way. Okay, so we're probably gonna mount or install it and then put all the little flickery things in there, those little rocks. Alright, so we got those out. Sorry, Sage. Alright, let's just pretty much put it in. That's how simple. Let's get this undone. And I'll move you guys. Alright. Let's get this stuff out the way. Nope, Sadie's not happy. She's having to move. It's been so cold, Sadie won't even go outside. She goes out and she's like, no. Alright, I'm going to try and stay out of the way so you guys can see this. But so now we're going to try and put this into the frame. Hopefully the holes line up. As long as it goes into that hole, we're good. So, fingers crossed. We're close. What are we catching on? Alright, these little feet on the bottom are catching. Flip it upside down. Hope you guys can see this. There's 4 little feet on the bottom. It's meant to sit down on the floor or something like that. And they're catching as we're going in. So I think I'm going to take those puppies off so that this thing will fit. These things are really, really light too, so not a whole lot to them. Oop. Alright, let's try this again. What is the deal here? Oh, I bet you it's hitting that block. Okay, we're back. And so I was having some fit issues. Oh, I'll turn this around so you can see it. So this bracket right here comes around the edges and it flares out and it's catching on the walls. And this is a mounting bracket to put it on a wall. So, of course, read through the instructions and it said we can take that off because we're not going to be using it because we're not mounting it on a wall. But I should have read further in. So anyway, let's get these off and I think this thing's going to fit right in there. Either that or this block is going to have to come out. Again, so light. Once I get it in, the mounting screws on the 4 sides should hold it just fine. Bingo! All right, 1 wall mounting bracket out the way. Let's try this again. I think that block is creating some troubles for us. Yeah, looks like that mounting block's gotta go. Alright, this is just a little too high and it's blocking that from going in. Oh, excuse me, Sage. Hi. You coming to supervise? You coming to supervise? Alright, we get the block out of the way. Boss is here. Checking it all out. Yeah, he's my baby. Okay, you gotta go. Come sit down. Come lay down. Alright, let's try this again. ho ho. Uh-oh. It's gonna sit too far back. I don't think the glass is gonna go on. It might. Let's try it. It's gonna be too far recessed. Interesting. Doesn't quite. Well, we have a little bit of a problem. This lower piece sticks out. It's a lip, which is pushing it forward, and the glass won't sit. So, I mean, it's seated in there, but it's actually tipped back a little bit. And in this position, it would work, but we can't travel with it like that because it'll do that. So, I don't know. Interesting. I'll have to do some troubleshooting. So there's our troubles. This has to stay flush, which means it can't be sunk all the way back in. So we can screw in here. I guess we could leave it angled. I don't know. I go get a screw gun. We'll figure it out. All right. Well, so the bottom lip here sticks out. There is one up on top, but I don't think it's going to affect anything. But this bottom lip on the bottom is creating problems with that glass going on. So I'm going to screw the top two in, and then I'll probably shim behind here so it'll be tipped back just a little bit. When I had the glass on just a minute ago, I don't think it didn't look bad. But this is going to change how we do stuff when it comes time for travel. We'll probably have to take that glass off unless I can figure out something else. But anyway, let's just try and get it secured to the wall and see what happens here. Alright, so that's in there. It would just be nice to shim up behind these bottoms and get a screw in there. I don't know if I want to use cardboard. I don't have any wood that small. Well, I guess it's a... I wouldn't say ideal, but I think it will work. That puppy ain't going anywhere. I think we should test drive it though before we put the glass on and call it a day. So I think I'm going to try and find some plywood. We may have some over in the shop where I work here. Instead of using cardboard. I'm not a big fan of that. But at least we'll be able to see if it's going to fit. Or do I have to frame out this whole thing? I may have to cut that piece down so that it sits flush with the glass, but all right, well, I got to turn down real quick. Whew, boy, it's throwing some heat. That's definitely coming out. It's got that kind of first furnace burn smell, but it is definitely putting out some heat. And I don't know if you were watching, but we could cycle through the colors, all kinds of crazy stuff you do on there. I'm trying to see. No, I guess that's. All right, there's that. This. High. Oh. There we go. We can set the temperatures. Nice. We'll set it at 70. All right, we'll let that run for a minute. Oh, so you can take this log out. Well, you can, and you can replace it with those crystals instead of having the log in there. I think I'm gonna leave the log. We'll let Laura do the decorating part. All in all, though, I think we're done. Yeah. So there it is. So let's get this glass on. Push your buttons. All right, I think that's it. Let's get you guys out of that tripod. All right. Well, there it is. It's not overly noisy, but it is sure throwing some heat. I mean, I'm probably 3 feet away from it at least, and I can feel it. Where the last one really couldn't. It's hitting me all the way out here. So the downside is the glass down here, you can see, is sitting on this this trim piece, and so it's about that far off the wall for the case on there. So I'm going to try and find either some shims here, and I'll shim all 4 so it sits out, or we may need to cut this down so that glass sits flush so this thing can turn and sit flush in there. But for the meantime, I'm going to say that's a win. And it sure is putting out some heat. Anyway, of course, made in China. There's the model, EF566A, 1500 watts. Supposedly the last one was 400 watts, or 1400 watts. This one's 100 watts more. But I'm going to leave it like this for now because I want it to run for a little bit, see how well. I mean, I am probably 5 feet away now, and I'm feeling the heat. Hopefully that fixes our issues. If not, we'll have a follow-up video, or you'll never see this one. Anyway, please like, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you'd like to see. Let us know if I need a haircut. Things like that. All right? Peace out. Love you. Bye.